afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're continuing on in our tour of the parks with EPCOT, and we're not sure how long this is going to take because we really like EPCOT, and so we might end up talking a lot about it. So our intention is to start off, because we don't know if we're going to end up splitting into two parts. Our intention is to start out with we're going to start our tour in Future World, or what will become something else later once the stuff's done. But so we're going to start in Future World, and then we're going to go around. We're going to turn right and go over towards Canada, because apparently that bothers Anna. That people don't go right; they all go left to Mexico.
Everybody goes left.
Yeah, I know. I go left too. I'm usually the one leading.
But it's interesting because usually when you go into some place, everybody goes to
the right.
To the right, because that's the dominant side.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, in EPCOT they don't, and I want to know why.
Yeah. Also, this is our map from September. I found our maps from September. This is our food and wine map from September. So there's some of this stuff that we might have to attempt to skip over, because it's all food and wine based stuff, and that's not what we're talking about.
I was gonna say, we can just skip it, because it's like we really don't do a whole lot of the food and wine stuff.
We did this last time.
Well, yeah, we eat a lot of the food, but we don't go to any. We don't do like the.
Oh yeah. The
like festival specific, like, eat to the beat stuff, and
yeah, we've seen a couple. Like we saw they had like a special band come into the Germany pavilion.
Right.
I think on our first trip. I don't know, second trip too, but like we stopped and watched them for a while.
Right.
Things like that. So yeah, let's start up in Future World first.
Toki doki.
So the first thing we do when we come in the entrance is we would normally stop and we've stopped and taken a picture in front of Spaceship Earth a couple of times before from there. One of the reasons being that they had the cool, what were those called?
The Legacy Stones?
The Legacy Stones. They don't have those anymore. But that was one of the things that we liked, was that it like kind of give it a cool look, having the picture taken from out there with the Legacy Stones in there.
I didn't care about that.
You didn't? Oh, I thought it looked cool.
They look like giant tombstones, so I'm not I wasn't real fond of them anyway, so I'm glad they got it.
That's fair. Yeah, so we usually stop up at the front there and have a picture taken. And that's actually a really good spot to stop and have your picture taken. Especially when you're on your way out, because like at the beginning of the day, there's a lot of people that are up in that line, because it's like trying to get a picture with the castle in Magic Kingdom right when you come into the park.
Yes.
That's when everybody wants to get a picture of the castle.
Yes.
But with Spaceship Earth, if you do it when you're leaving, then you can usually do it a little easier.
Yes.
When it's later in the day. But let's move on. First on the list here is Future World East. So what do we have up here? Spaceship Earth, which we really like.
Yes, and I'm real testy here, because they're closing it, and everybody says it's going to be closed for 2 years, and there's just no way. There's no way they're going to let Spaceship Earth be closed for the 50th anniversary. Yeah. There's no way.
I think they're closing it for the 50th. They're trying to refurbish it for the 50th.
Yes.
So I don't think it's going to be closed for 2 years.
I'm going to be real ticked off if it's closed when we go for the 50th.
Right.
I'm going to be so angry. You have no idea. You have no idea.
No, thankfully the 50th they'll do that celebration for a full year, so maybe we'll go twice during the 50th. You never know.
I don't care how long the celebration runs. We were planning on being there for the 50th, and it better be open. That's all I care about.
Yeah, we actually really enjoy that. We've only ridden it once, actually.
Yes, we've only done it once.
And I didn't do it on my first trip there in 2003. We didn't ride Spaceship Earth that I know of. No, we didn't.
And I want you to think about this. We've only been on that ride once, and that's our tagline.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, what we said, the Thank the Phoenician sign that we end every video with now, it's from Spaceship Earth. That's where we got it from. So we really enjoyed that ride. It was very...
I like it.
It's really interesting, and it's a nice, just like calm... It's just a people mover.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's a good break out of the heat of EPCOT, because EPCOT gets very warm.
Not as warm as Animal Kingdom, but it does get really warm.
Not as warm as Hollywood Studios.
It's Hollywood Studios either, yeah.
Hollywood Studios is just like pure.
Yeah, Hollywood Studios is probably the top, and then Animal Kingdom, and then EPCOT, and then Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
And then after that is Mission Space, which we also did. It was interesting. I mean, like, the actual thing was interesting, but it was just...
Yeah.
motion sickness is real.
It was vomit inducing. I'm really surprised I didn't actually vomit. I'm so surprised I didn't. That was real rough on my stomach.
Yeah.
It was so rough.
It was for me too. Like, I was super dizzy and weak after I got off, and then when you went on it, and I was trying to hang out with Aiden and keep up with him because he was running around.
Yeah.
And that was real hard.
Yeah. No, that's on my list of never do again.
Yeah. I have thought about doing it again and doing the green mission, because that's supposed to be less intense, but I don't think is worth it. So we'll have to see. But then the next one after that is Test Track, which we do really want to do.
Yeah.
We just haven't ever gotten around to it. A couple of times it's been closed when we went like on our specific days that we went there, it was closed. But
I'd do it. It's not on my list of like really want to do it. It's like if I had the opportunity to, I would.
Right.
But it's not like something I'd go out of my way to do.
Yeah, that's fair. After that is they have Jameters, the electric umbrella. Is that?
Oh, the Jameters are the guys that beat on the trash cans.
It's the
right
percussion.
up there.
They're actually really cool to watch.
They are really cool.
Yeah, Aiden actually really liked it because he likes music in general, but like he was really really fascinated with them, just like he was fascinated by it. But yeah, I didn't know that they had an actual name.
Yes.
And then Electric Umbrella, which is closed right now.
It is gone. It is demolished. It is no longer in existence.
Yep. And then after that's Mouse Gear, which we like Mouse Gear. It's in a different building now.
They've moved it to a temporary location while the current location is demolished and rebuilt.
Yeah, they're rebuilding it from the ground up, which I think will be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that Epcot really just needed a huge facelift because it was really
exactly
outdated.
what it's getting.
Yes.
And it's going to be awesome. And then that's it for Future World East. There's not much there. It's just Spaceship Earth, Mission Space, Test Track,
but
and then shops.
Future World West.
Yeah, Future World West. So they have the Epcot character spot, which we've done Mickey, Minnie, Goofy.
Currently not in existence.
Yes, they have a different area where you can go meet Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy.
Yes.
But I don't believe they have the Joy and Sadness meet and greet or the Baymax meet and greet.
Baymax has been retired.
Oh, has he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They said they said when they closed the character spot, he wasn't coming back.
No.
But it looks like I think Joy is coming back, but not Sadness. I think Joy is supposed to join Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope, not in the same exact spot, but like down there.
Oh, okay.
In the Imagination Pavilion.
Gotcha. And so we did the Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy meet and greet with Aiden, but we didn't do Joy and Sadness, and we didn't do Baymax. We thought about doing Baymax at one point, but we were on our way to do something else. And so we ended up not doing it.
Yeah, and he wouldn't at the time he wouldn't have recognized Baymax or Joy and Sadness, so I don't think it would have been.
I think he would have liked Joy and Sadness just because he likes the characters. Yes. Like he didn't recognize Scrooge or Launchpad, but he loved the people in the outfits. But I think his reaction to Baymax would have been the same that it was with Ralph.
Probably.
I think.
Probably.
But then after that is the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which we really like doing. The actual ride itself is just. It's a nice people mover. It doesn't do much. It needs to be fixed.
It does. There's so much off in it, like timing and lighting and stuff like that. There's a lot that's off in it.
It's one of those things that like the screens are playing, you'll hear the sound, and then a few seconds later you'll see the actual like the mouths moving or whatever. Like it's just the timing's really off on that.
Yes.
But other than that, it's actually very nice. And it's a really, really, especially even just the queue to get up there is a really, really nice way to get out of the heat.
Yes, it is.
Because the queue is really long, and there's only ever, I think the longest it's actually had a posted time was 10 minutes.
And I'm pretty sure that was just because you have to walk 10 minutes. Yeah,
that was just the walk up. You have to walk like 5 or 10 minutes to get up it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if they've ever really needed that long of a queue for that ride.
I highly doubt it. Maybe when they first opened it because a bunch of kids were like, oh, it's Nemo.
Maybe.
But I think after a couple of days, it probably has been like this.
I just feel like it really didn't need that.
We're fine with it because we enjoy going on it, and we would rather it have a nice short line.
I mean, I agree with that. I'm really kind of, there's a couple of rides where it's like Figment too. It's like, why is the queue so freaking long?
Right. But one of the things we like, so there's the Season with Nemo and Friends attractions. That's the actual ride. Right. And another part of it is they have Turtle Talk with Crush, which is in the... So when you get there... And this is
the sea base.
The sea base. So when you get off of the ride, you're in the sea base. It's just a big aquarium. There's a bunch of aquariums. And that's one of the things that we really like about it is you can get out and just go and wander around this aquarium. And there's like really big sea turtles in there that were really cool. There's some sharks, and there's a hammerhead shark that I really liked. There's a bunch of
dolphins.
There's some dolphins. There's rays. There's a manatee in there.
Yeah.
At least one.
No, they have a couple.
Was it manatees or was it porpoise? No, it was a manatee. Yeah, it was a manatee.
Then they have a little kids play area, which is nice.
Yeah, it's what's his name? Bruce themed from Bruce from Nemo. And that was so that's pretty fun. Aiden likes running around there. And
we've never done Turtle Talk with Crush because it's supposed to be like a little show.
Yeah, an engaging conversation with Crush, Dory, and some of their marine animal friends.
So that might...
It's similar to the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Okay.
I think.
It might be okay now with Aiden because he kind of likes Finding Nemo and he likes fishies. Mm-hmm. So it might be okay now with him. He might sit for a while.
Yeah, we might have to try it next time.
It doesn't say how long it is, but...
No, well, because it's not actually, like, he comes up every once in a while, and it's just, like, you don't just sit there and watch it, like, you can get up and leave or whatever.
Right, but it's still a timed attraction.
Yeah.
They have, like, certain start times and stuff, so it's still a timed attraction.
Yeah, so it's just one of those ones that, like, we'll have, like, a posted time of here, this is when the next show is, but it doesn't say how long that show is or anything like that. Yeah, so that might be one that we put on our list to do next time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on our list to do next time it is, again, meeting Mickey and Goofy and whatever other characters. Because we do want to take a day in hopefully most of the separate parks to just go around and meet characters. Because that's one of the things that we want to do. Especially Epcot and Magic Kingdom, because they have more characters in Epcot and Magic Kingdom.
Yes. And I want to do it in Animal Kingdom, too, just because we got short lines there.
True.
And it's super quick to get through.
Yeah, for the most part.
So...
next up is the Land Pavilion. So in the Land Pavilion, you have Soarin' Around the World, which is one of the ones that we want to do.
Yes.
It's similar to... I think it's supposed to be similar to, like, Smuggler's Run and Flight of Passage and those ones in...
Yeah, it's what you're supposed to be, like, in a hang glider going around the world.
Yeah.
But it still has that sometimes people with really bad motion sickness can get affected by it because it is supposed to feel like you are in the air flying above these places. Right. And so I'm a little worried about trying it because of that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. It's on our list to possibly try, but we'll have to see how it goes. After that is Living with the Land, which we really like Living with the Land. The line is always super short because most people think it's boring. Because literally what it is you're on a boat ride that goes through this thing that it's like this whole thing that talks about obviously living with the land. It talks about like the farming and like kind of how they do things in some different areas. One of them talks about how they grow rice in Japan, and one of them talked about I think growing corn somewhere. And so it's just like really interesting. But then after that is the more interesting part because it takes you through the greenhouses that Epcot has.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of places that Epcot or that use the food that's grown in those greenhouses.
Yes.
Especially during like the Food and Wine Festival.
Flower and Garden.
And Flower and Garden and like all the festivals and stuff. They will use the produce that is grown in there. And it's just really fun to go through there and see those. And they have little aquariums where they are farming the fish and different things.
And our favorite game to play in Living with the Land is how many hidden Mickeys can you find?
Yes, because there are lots of hidden Mickeys around.
Lots of hidden
There's
Mickeys.
a couple in like some of the aquariums and stuff like that.
Yes.
The Seas has them too.
Yes, it does. But
yeah, they both do.
I love going through Living with the Land and just looking for hidden Mickeys, especially ones that we hadn't seen before, because some of them don't move. But looking for new ones, that's my favorite. Right.
And then after that is one of the ones that I want to do because it's supposed to be really good is Chip and Dale's Harvest Feast at Garden Grill Restaurant.
Yeah, Garden Grill is supposed to be really good.
The Garden Grill is supposed to be really good, especially breakfast at Garden Grill is supposed to be really good. And so that's one of the things that I want to try. It's not necessarily breakfast. I mean, I would like to try breakfast there, but just the garden grill is supposed to be really, really good. So that's one that's on my list, and hopefully we'll be able to do. And then, next we get to the Imagination Pavilion. This is Anna's favorite. One of Anna's favorites. Because the first thing on here is Journey into Imagination with Figment. Figment is her favorite.
Oh, yes.
Her absolute favorite.
Well, no, not my absolute favorite, because Oswald is my absolute favorite.
You know what I mean.
But, park related. Absolute favorite.
Yes. Yeah, and it is really entertaining. It is really fun. It's one of those things that, like, it does need updating, but it's just, it's so charming and, like, I don't know. It's like so beautifully like retro that it's awesome. I love it.
It is, and it's just
and
really.
Aiden actually really likes it too.
Yeah.
He was pointing at Figment one of the last times he wrote it. He was like pointing at Figment coming out of the ceiling. There's a portion of the ride where Figment is different objects in his house, and Aiden was pointing out Figment, and we're like, "Is that? Oh, that is Figment." Yeah, he was looking around.
So, I really like Figment. It 100% needs to be updated, but this is one of those rides that everybody says is going to disappear, and it won't, because there's too many people who are absolutely in love with Figment. Right. And it's been updated a couple of times before, so I imagine it's just going to get updated, and they'll keep Figment there. Yeah,
they'll keep Figment. I mean, he's on too much merchandise. Like, they utilize him so much.
Yeah, he's like the star of the arts, Festival of the Arts. Yeah. And even actually some of the other ones too. Like, he's all over Food and Wine and all over Flower and Garden.
Every festival is surrounded by Figment. I mean, So one of the things that Anna got last time was these recipe cards that are Figment.
Yeah, so he's all over everything. And like our Food and Wine, the Hide and Squeak map, one of the prizes was a Figment cup. Yeah. Like, I would be so surprised if they got rid of the Figment ride. I doubt it's going to happen. So it's definitely one of my favorites, though.
Right. And then after that is Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival.
Which we haven't done because Aiden doesn't sit. So right. It's not for lack of want, but also because we could watch most of these on our own time.
Yeah, so it's one of those that's not necessarily on our list. Yeah. But we did really like meeting Ralph and Vanellope. Yeah. Or as Aiden calls them now, Raph and Uppy. Raph and Uppy. Yes. And so I'm really excited to do this again next time.
I know. I'm so excited. I really, really hope that he still says Uppy. Ralph and Uppy when we go, because that would be the
cutest thing ever. Yes. But yeah, they were really fun. He didn't really like meeting Ralph. He just wasn't too sure about him.
I think he just was intimidated by him.
Because Ralph is very big. The character is really big.
Yes, so. And he has these giant, like...
Yeah, his hands don't come apart. It's just they're firmly in fists. And because they have to have his hands so big, and so he can't really do anything.
Yeah, and he's not real articulated. Like, his arms are straight. He just does this, and it's really kind of comical to me. Yeah. But I could see where it'd be intimidating for a kid.
Right. But then after that is the Coral Reef Restaurant in Art of Disney, which we don't really do.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot of stuff in the Future World areas that we do. The Spaceship Earth, we've done Mission Space. Like, we usually hang around there we usually hang around Future World for a while.
I was gonna say, we spend a lot of time in the seas because
Aiden, of the aquarium and stuff.
Yeah, Aiden loves fish, so we spend a lot of time in there. And then also in Imagination Pavilion, because not only, like, it doesn't mention it in here, but when you get off the ride, off the Figment ride, you are launched into this, like, really interactive, cool play area.
The ImageWorks.
Yeah. So there's...
It actually is mentioning the Tour of the Imagination. This is what it says for Journey into Imagination with Figment. It's Tour the Imagination Institute with Figment, then let the little one's imaginations run wild at ImageWorks, which is just like kind of a play area type thing.
Yeah. So there's a giant, like, Simon Says piano thing that you play with. There's these really cool like motion sensor musical instruments.
Yeah, those are fun.
You get to design your own figments. What else is over there? And then there's like this giant like step piano, not piano, but it's like a step instrument thing. It's like that lighted floor, and you can step on different things, and it makes different sounds. There's a lot of cool, fun things to do in there.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot more than just this Figment ride.
Right.
So.
Right. But yeah, so that's I think we'll have to split it up here, and so that'll be the end of the first part. So in the next part, we will go through the World Showcase, and we'll kind of talk about everything that we do there, and some of the things that we would like to do.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so until next time, don't forget
to thank the Phoenicians.